Hello, I'm just waiting here, letting people get caught up. If you're watching the replay, just giving a few minutes for some people to pop in. Let me know if you're here. You can see me. Hi, Mom, if you're here, and Annie. I think you're probably watching on Mom's TV if you're watching. I hope you guys are all doing good tonight. I'm going to start at the beginning here to show some of the new inspiration stuff. Strawberry Social, and I have the stamp set here. I don't have the box right now or the dies, but I do have the stamp set. And so this month we're doing a lot of berry-licious things with all the strawberries, and there is coordinating dies that are available in the box, and or if you just want the stamp set on loan. And then one of the add-on stamp sets this month, or stencil sets, is the strawberry seeds stencil. And then tonight, what I'm going to play with, what I have is the stencil of the month, which is the Berry Basket Stencil. And I'm going to attempt to make 3 cards tonight. So hopefully I'm going to get right in it. So we're going to use this 3 different ways. And it's the Berry Basket. It's the stencil of the month. And this is, the stencils are some of my favorite things. I've been buying stencils from Brutus Monroe now for 3 years, 4 years, 4 years now. I have a lot of them. I love them. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because I'm going to do some ink blending, and there's just a few little spots. I'm going to put a little bit of pixie spray on this. I'm just going to do this off camera here a little bit. I just have a little box that one of my orders came in that I keep. And I'm going to grab my blending stick and stamp mat and my blending buddy. This is my stick and stamp mat that I keep specifically for blending. And it's got the blending buddy attached to it, which has the space for the blender. And I thought we'd have some fun with colors tonight. Let's see, let me grab a piece of paper. I have some paper here. I think it's a little bigger than my opening. It is. Let's cut this down. My opening in the blending buddy is the standard A2 size card panel, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to quick cut that down. And these are just leftover panels I must have had from, I don't know if I was making a Slimline card or a mini Slimline card. And I just keep them for blending and things like that. And then I keep the small pieces like this for sentiments. So let's get started on this. I'm just going to stick this right in my mat here, my stick and step mat. And then this is just a little sticky. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in. You can see I used my mat a lot. When you bend it, it doesn't always stick in. Your paper will pop off. That's the best way to remove your paper. Let's see, I am going to stick it under, and then I'm going to tape down just one side here because I have some tape already on here. Actually, I have another piece of purple tape right there. So I thought it'd be fun to start with some, I'm going to try to make a few masculine kind of cards tonight. And so tonight, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to use Breakup Blue and Minty Fresh. I've never used these 2 inks before together, but I thought they'd be a fun mix. So grab a couple of my blending brushes here. And I just have a cloth off to the side. I'm going to just rub my brushes off just to make sure they're fairly clean, in case no markers, no colors left from before, in case it was a darker color. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll start with the Minty Fresh. And I'm just going to blend it on. These are going to be very light. These are very light colors, but they're very, I have actually, I don't know if I've even used these 2 colors before. I thought that would be kind of just a fun little light background. And I thought what we do quick is we make all our backgrounds so that I can have one setting aside to dry. But we'll see. I might just finish one card at a time. Looks like I got some little schmutz on my cardstock. Well, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and use some breakup blue now. And overlap them a little bit because blue and green will go well together. Kind of going around the edges, I think, with the blue. Kind of focused green swipe through the middle. And just kind of, you know, I like to go back and forth all around circles. And overlap this minty fresh green. All right, I'm going to take a little peek. I'm going to do just a little bit more. The blue I'm pretty happy with, but I want a little bit more green. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I go both clockwise and clockwise so I get all the way around. I want the edges. All right, here we go. So here's the time for the big reveal. Awesome. So there it is, and I just pull it off my mat, and because I use my Blending Buddy, my Stick and Step mat is clean, no ink, so I don't really have to wipe that off. Kept it clean, and I can just wipe off the sides, and then I just stick the centerpiece on, and I just stick it back up on my door cabinet here. So I think I'm gonna just dull down the little white a little bit and just use whatever's left over on my brushes, just to ink blend a little bit. We might cut this panel down. I pulled some scraps from my scrap bin to maybe cut some sentiments. I pulled a happy birthday stamp set from my stash, just to maybe I haven't decided what type of cards we're going to make yet tonight, other than try to make them a little more masculine. Okay, so I've got this background. Let's quick wash off our stencil. I'm still using up my hot chocolate squeaky clean. Oops, dropped my towel on the floor. And then I'm just gonna spray it real good, and then I'm gonna wipe it off good, because I'm gonna next, we're gonna do some dry embossing after, but let's get our cards finished here first. All right, so I do like to kind of cut my cardstock down, but I forgot to pull my dies over here when I was done, so I think we'll just cut this one down normal with a paper trimmer. Yeah, I like to stitched edge on mine, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this down a little bit off each side until it's 4 inches. And then we'll cut a little bit down off each of these sides, so we're at 5 1/4. So I really didn't have to ink blend the edges, but measure once, cut twice. So this is a little bit bigger than 5. There we go. Yep, see? Pay attention when you cut. I almost cut it too short. All right, here we go. So I've got this. Let me see. I need to grab a card base. And maybe, let's see. I'm going to look over here quick and see what kind of cardstock I can find. I just have some old cardstock stash. I have them cut down into half sheets. They're just half sheets of paper. Let's see if we can find one that kind of, that one looks kind of nice. I think I like that blue. That is what we're going to use. Do we want that blue? Yeah, we'll use that blue. And I use them for bases, or not bases, for matting. So this one we're going to cut down just a little bit bigger because I still want the white. So it's not going to be quite 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. It's going to be just a little bit. It's going to be like halfway between. Is that what? 4 1/8 by 5 And what is that? 1, 2, 3, 3/4? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 3/8. I'm not, I can do math, but I don't do measurements very well. And I can look at it. All right, so I like that. And I thought maybe it'd be nice to, I have some leftover ribbon and stuff from other inspiration boxes. I thought maybe this blue looks like it might be good, and I don't use ribbon very often, so I thought it'd be fun to put just a string of it on, even though I said, you know, like trying to be a masculine card, but if I just put a little bit on as like a border. So, let's see, what do I have? I have some tape here. What I like to do when I'm doing my like ribbon or thread sometimes, I just grab some double-sided tape, whatever I have handy, and I just stick it on the back, wherever I'm going to put it. And, oh, I got a little stickiness on me. I'm going to pull that off. And I'm just going to put it down. I just like to stick it down right over the edge of that. And then let's use the edge of, let's see if we can get this to be straight. That looks pretty good. So actually, let's cut it off a little bit first, and then I'll stick it over the side. There we go. Has that straight. Make my cardstock straight. I'm sorry if I'm off camera here a little bit. There we go. So, and I'll just kind of pull it so that it's nice and taut. Here we go. We got the basis of our card. All right, I think I am going to go ahead and go over here and grab some dies. Quick, if you give me just a second. Let's see, I want a circle die. I'll be right back. Okay, I just grabbed a couple of these are old nestability dies, or and I just thought I'd see what my sentiments that I have would work. I want a happy birthday. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to choose Super Sentimental is the stamp set. This is one of my well-loved stamp sets. As you can tell, I have stamps all over the place. And if you give me, oh, Donna, hi. I didn't see you there. You know what, Donna? You read my mind for the Seeds Could Be Raindrops. I have a extra card coming that is gonna maybe have something with that. So you read my mind the second I saw that stamp set. So I have a card that started, but it's not finished. You know, they could be raindrops, they could be watermelon seeds. I guess they look, you know, they do look a lot like raindrops to me. I think that's an awesome idea. Okay, so what I wanted to do is find a white cardstock, and for some reason my chat didn't pop up, so I right away. So I didn't see the chat come on. Let's see here. I am just going to use another piece of cardstock, and I'm going to find a die here that's going to work. These are just old. I've had these forever. Let's see. It looks like it will just fit inside this one, which means then I can layer it with this one. I don't really want to put it on a scallop. Well, maybe I'll put it on a scallop. Can scallops go for men? Let's see, because I have the scallops here too. Let's see. They're on the other side. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to go for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the scallops out of the center of this because we're not going to see this. And then we'll cut our sentiment out of this piece. So I need to grab my die cut machine here. I just keep tossing things to the side. And try to get this on camera here without shaking my table too bad. I have a Spellbinders Platinum 6. That's my favorite machine. I got it for Christmas last year because my Big Shot died. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out the center first. And I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. See if I can get this all the way through here. Hope that wasn't jarring you too much. And then we'll quick cut out our sentiment. I'm just going to cut it out of a corner here. We'll stamp it down and we'll have card number 1 done. Not going to add any bling or anything to it this time. Let's throw our dies over there. Get our machine here out of the way. Hope you can hear me okay. I know I've had some issues before with my microphone. So just give me a second. I'm sorry if my hand was in the way here. Grabbing my little Misty. Try not to keep too much stuff on my desk so that I can actually craft and not get in the way. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that down here quick. You forgive me, I needed to see get my tablet back up so I could see the screen. It's being kind of dumb tonight. And let's see. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Minty Fresh, even though we have because we have the blue going on. So we're going to go ahead and we might have to stamp this more than once because it's such a light ink and yeah, there we go. Perfect. Alrighty. Got my happy birthday. I'll get that off to the side for right now. I'm going to quick put that down with some tape here. Let's get our chat back up here. Hi, Michelle. How are you today? Hope everything is cooling off in your area. It wasn't too bad around here today. We had a little bit of a breeze, but I hear Saturday is going to be really hot. Not looking forward to that. So we're just making a couple of cards using the berry stencil or basket stencil. And then I got my first card almost done. We just did some basic ink blending because, you know, that's one of the easiest ways to use a stencil. I've got, let's see here. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Sorry, if I'm off camera a little bit, I need to be able to see without my head being in your way. All right, so there we go with that. Let's go ahead and get this on our card base. And we will have card number 1 done. I pre-did some things. I was kind of playing around when I first got my stencils, and I have a couple of backgrounds that have been done for a while, and I haven't made cards with them yet. And so I think if I'm going to use glazes and stuff, they don't always dry right away. So I'm going to use them when I'm done. So we've got that, and then I don't know if I have any dimensions sitting right here close at hand. So I think I'm just going to pop it down. Very quick and, oh, I got a couple of fuzzies on my dies here. I'm going to put that quick down. And there we go. We got a card. It's simple. but an image on here. You could put some flowers if you wanted to cut them out. You could, any kind of die, grab flies from the Monarch and throw that on there. From the Magical Monarchs set, and you could zhuzh it up anyway, but I am going to leave it alone. It was super hot in Pittsburgh. Well, that was us yesterday. It poured, and I drove home and I could see it because I live literally, I drive down the side of the Mississippi coming home, and the Mississippi was just covered in dark, dark clouds. I knew it was pouring, and it didn't quite get to us. So we were out in the garage. My honey and I were out in the garage, and it started to rain, and I kind of went out in the rain, and I'm like, oh, it's cold. I'm like, that's like tornado weather coming. It's cold, cold. But it ended up being fine, and then it was a little cool, but then it got hot. 95, Donna, I am over it. I am just ready for 70s or cooler temps. All right, let's move on. We've got card number 1 here. Let's move that out of the way. So my second card, I don't actually know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but I thought what I want to do is show you another way to use your stencils. If you didn't know, somewhere over on my table here, I pulled a kind of craft taffy card. It's actually the back of a card base that I didn't like. So I cut it down, and I'm going to make it as a card. I'm going to make it be a card panel. So we're going to dry emboss with this. So how I dry emboss, oh, son, be quiet. No, I'm just kidding. One of my earbuds fell out, and I wasn't sure if it was the right one with the magnet or not, or with the microphone or not. I need to get some wireless ones, but I just haven't yet. So how I dry emboss is with my Platinum 6 is I have my base, and then I take my card base and my stencil, and I'm going to flip it over. And if I'm going to put it down, but I'll be off camera a little bit because of, how, but you'll see it when it comes up. So okay, so it's like this right now. I'll go backwards. And then what you need is a plastic, like rubber mat. Mine, the Spellbinders comes with one, and then you just kind of put this on there. And then my Spellbinders comes with a blue embossing mat. So I will see if I can do this backwards. And then I'm just going to push it in. Sometimes you need a shim, especially for a deeper impression. But sometimes you don't. Every machine is different. You kind of have to try out your own little sandwich as yourself. And if my sandwich is right, when I pull this off, oh, look at that. I moved it. So that's fine. We can make it work. So now, I don't know if you can see that, but now I embossed with so it's just a little bit raised. If you use really thick cardstock, you might have to get it just a little damp. I know, like Jennifer McGuire would rub like a baby wipe over it instead of spray it. So because it moved and I don't have this piece on here, we just won't use that part. So, and that's fine. I need to grab an ink. I think I'm just going to grab whatever brown ink I have handy, because my Simon Hurley inks are on the other side of the room. I just grabbed a brown ink for my stash here, and I want to accentuate this. So I just have a little brown ink, and I could go direct to paper, but I don't want to make it super dark. I'm trying to just hit some of those berry basket lines so that it just hits the ridges. I think I'm going to go for it. We're going to go for it. We're going to go direct to paper. And I'm going to do it a couple different ways to kind of just catch that. I love it. I love how it's catching that. So I'm not pushing very hard. I'm barely touching my ink pad to my paper because I don't want to get too much between the lines. I'm just trying to get the raised areas. Thanks, Donna. That's what I'm very bad at making clean and simple cards, I guess I should say. I feel like I always go overboard. It's kind of a goal of mine to learn how to make some more. But I thought it sometimes you need those, especially if you don't, if you don't know for sure who you're going to give it to. You have something that can be a card for anyone. So now I've got that. So you can just barely make out that raise. It's not just a little bit. So we're going to cut this down because I actually didn't emboss it right. But what I think I might do is I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to go for it. We're going to cut this down to 3 inches. So I'm going to go 3 1/4 on this side. We're going to try to see what we can do to make a mini slimline card out of this. So I just took a regular panel and I cut it down. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. This is at 5 inches. I'm going to cut it down. It's 5 by 3 inches. I'm going to cut it down to 2.5 inches because it doesn't quite fit a mini slim card, right? Well, let's fool everybody, or let's try to fool everybody. I think I have a brown, nope, that's a regular card, so we'll just grab this mini slim base. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put one at the bottom, we're going to put one at the top, and then we'll find something to cover this up in the middle. So let's go ahead and add those to our card base. And maybe I'll grab some pattern paper that I have over here. I'm actually thinking I might mix a little flowers into this. How does that sound? Kind of give it a little country feel. Oops. So we're just going to easy. My mini slimline cards are 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. Let me double check that. I haven't measured one in a while. 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. I tend to actually make them 6 1/2 by 3 1/2, and then I end up having to cut some off, and then I just use them for my sentiment. Those little extra pieces for my sentiments. So what I did is I made sure that I tried to make sure it was even all the way around. And I can keep this for another time for like a border that could go on some other card. These pieces are small enough, I'm going to throw them away. I'm going to quick grab an old paper pad. Give me 1 second. I think I'm going to go for it. I have this old farmhouse florals. I'm not sure if this is still available. If it isn't, I'm sorry. If it is, I will link it down below. But you can use any pattern paper. This one's just very close. And I'm going to find a floral. That's too big. Let's try... I've used those before. Let's just use this one. Let's use this one. It's very florally. And I'm just going to cut it down into a 3 1/4 or 3 inch by couple inches. So let's cut down a little square. That can go right on a mini slimline card if you cut it right in 3s. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down to, it's 3, so it's 6. Let's cut it down to 3 inches and we'll see if I like that or if that's too much flowers. Nope, I think I like that. I'm going to leave it just like that. Let's get this put away. Now I think what I'm going to do is give it just a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of white cardstock in the middle just so it's at the same height. It doesn't have to be a little trick I learned from a YouTuber that I watch a lot. She uses scrap paper all the time. Thanks, Donna. This is totally flying by the seat of my pants. I was just like, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to dry emboss, but I really hadn't planned it out. I was gone I usually craft on the weekends, and I spend my whole weekend usually working on design team projects, crafting other things, for like a blog post or if I'm going to do a live. And I spent the last weekend up in northern Minnesota, at my parents' house because my parents are getting ready to move. And so I didn't really prepare anything, but I kind of had an idea of what I knew I wanted to do. So we've got that. Ooh, is that straight? I don't know if I made that straight. Let's see here. I just want to cover it up. There we go. Awesome. So now we need a sentiment. So I don't know what we're going to do for that yet. So let's see what we got here. I pulled a few things. Do we like just for you? Sending a cheery hello. Yeah, let's do one of those. Let's do sending a cheery hello, because I like the hello is very, very blunt. This is from the Glorious Garden stamp set. So I encourage you guys to always go back and look at your stamps and stencil or stamp sets for your sentiments. Now, what I think I'm going to do is see if I have a piece of brown paper over here. Golds. Let's see. Let's see. Do we have something that looks similar? I bet you this is the same stash pile here. And I think, should we heat emboss it? Put strawberries in the middle. Strawberries in the middle. I can do that. We'll see, where did I put the strawberry stamp set? Oh yeah, I threw it over here. I got stuff everywhere, Donna. It's funny. We could definitely do that. I don't have any cut out, but we can quickly put some out. I can quickly stamp some out. Let's see, we'll do 3. How does that sound? You're gonna make me fussy cut, aren't you? That's all right. I don't happen to have clothes, do I? I'm just gonna grab a piece of white paper that I have here. Let's stamp them out and get them colored up quick. We can do that. I am gonna use the Strawberry Social stamps on my next live. I haven't quite decided that. That's in a couple weeks yet, so I'm trying to think of something fun, different I haven't done with. So, all right, let's grab our detail ink. Oh my gosh, my desk is a mess. I'm super excited because not only was I up at my mom and dad's last week with my sister and we celebrated my niece's birthday, and my nephew was there, is they are actually coming here tomorrow for the weekend. And my parents haven't been here since 2019, I think, and my sister hasn't been here in 5 years. So the last time my niece was here, she was 2. Not even quite 2. And my nephew, was he like 5 maybe? I don't remember exactly. It was 5 years ago, the last time they were down here. So I'm super excited. They lived on the other part of the country at that point, and now they live closer and they're getting a chance to come down. So hopefully we're going to do a little crafting this weekend. I'm sure if my mom's watching at home, she can't usually comment because she's watching on her TV, that my niece, if she can hear me, if she's around, is probably going to be loving my craft room when she sees it because it's right there. All right, I'm just going to color pluck. I grabbed 37, R37. We're just going to do a quick color on them. Now I feel I want to say thank you very much. We might change our sentiment, Donna. We'll see what we feel like when we get this far done, huh? I'm going to do some very quick coloring. Oh, thanks, Michelle. We have some stuff planned. It's going to be hot. Even though it's going to be like 90-some degrees on Saturday, I think we're still going to have a campfire. If not, that's fine. We can stay inside because we are going to grill out and we can grill in the air. We'll play some card games. We're going to do a little shopping on Saturday. We have a really amazing bakery not too far from us, and I want to go there, and it's near a quilt shop, and my mom's a quilter, so we can do that. This bakery is so good. It's a funny story, totally a random story, but my son, when he was learning how to drive, it was him and one other boy that were supposed to be on driver's ed, and the other boy didn't always come on time, and my son and his driver's ed instructor were very close because he helped him. I like the flowers you choose. I try to finish cards that were half done, getting ready for. Donna, I cannot wait for Create Your Own Ending. I really wanted to pull out one of those stamp sets and use one of those little stamp sets, tonight. But I thought I better not. I could pretend it was just in my stash, but I thought I better wait. The whole treat one. If you're going to Create Your Own Ending and you saw the unboxing video, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't. The one that was in our little treat bag. I thought that would be a fun one to use, but I am super excited. Anyway, my son, this other guy, didn't show up always for driver's ed, and so the one day he was really close with his instructor because he was also his wrestling coach, and he said, "Well, my son's name is Logan. What should we do today? So and so didn't show up." And my son goes, "Let's go to El Cater and go to Pedretti's," and that's the bakery. So they did, and his coach is a big guy. Great guy, big guy. And my son was skinny. He still is skinny, but he's like 6'2". And he got in there, and my son ordered 3 dozen donut holes. And the coach was kind of like, "What the heck? How are you going to eat all those? That's like 3 times as many as I'm." And he's like, "Because it's Pedretti's." And I laughed so hard when the coach told me that story, because I worked at school, and so he told me that. And so anytime I taught in that school district, and some kid would bring Pedretti's donuts to the first hour, I would go take a picture of him and send it to my kid and be like, "Guess what I'm eating today in school? Kids brought me the Pedretti's." And he would be like, "Oh, I'm so sad." I'm like, "Sorry, not bringing any home. I'm eating them all." We're going to go do that. All right. Donna, that was just a total random grab of cloth things. So let's see, what time are we at here? Oh, we got 20 minutes yet, so we should still have time to finish my other card. All right, I'm going to do some fussy cutting. This is not my forte. So just quick cut these out. I have to order the dies. I almost ordered them today, and I got busy at work. So they're in my cart. I just have to go in and click buy, pay now, and then I will have them. So Michelle, are you signed up for Create Your Own Ending? This will be my 3rd one. I was supposed to go and maybe get to meet everybody. I've met Christopher, but I was really excited to come in 2020 to Create Your Own Ending, and then we had to go virtual. Well, it was a choice. And the day we had to make the decision of whether or not you were going to come or do it virtually that year, my boyfriend found out that day he had been exposed, and I thought we didn't catch it, but I thought, you know what, I better just stay home, because it'll be that 15th day will be the day of, so, and I don't want to get all the way to Pittsburgh and then have to stay in a hotel room. So, and the other person I was going to go with wasn't feeling like going either. So we did it. I did it at home. But I have 2 friends in town that have, for some reason, figured out who Brutus Monroe is, and they buy stuff because, I tell them, "You got to get this stuff. It's awesome." And anyway, my one friend has signed up for one staycation with me. I can't remember if we've done 1 or 2 staycations together. And then we did Create Your Own Ending together. So this will be our 2nd Create Your Own Ending together. and she signed up. She was one of the people who signed up at the last minute. So, all right, we got our berries. So we got those. I feel like they need to be popped up. I don't know if I have any pop dots, so we might have to pretend to pop them up. I don't want to go to the other side of the room tonight. Oh, I do. I found a couple pop dots. Let's grab those. All right. So pop dots, those, we're going to pop dot the small ones. We'll put the other ones down low. All right, I'm going to put them here. We're going to cover up all those pretty flowers. Let's put them down a little bit lower. All right, I don't know if I want to say this sending a cheery hello anymore. I think we're going to change it and use So Very Kind of You. Not this year. I understand, Michelle, that is the way it can be. I have 2 virtual events that I have not done projects for, and I don't even know if I remember what projects they go to, but I'm okay with it. I really was hoping that, like I said, my girlfriend and I were going to be able to sign up and do it together, and the big thing I think I was excited about was the holiday thing. So, but I understand completely. I won't be doing a whole lot on, we're going to use that same brown ink, same ink from my stash. The ink Friday, so I'll probably be playing catch up on those, but fortunately I have an amazing boss, so I can at least watch live while I'm at work, as long as I'm not busy with something. You know, sometimes I have to mute or turn it off, or I mute it, or I don't watch it if I'm really busy with something that I need to concentrate on. But otherwise I can watch while I'm at work and then make the projects later. Yeah, Michelle, I get that too. I am too. There's been things I've noticed so different. Noticed that it's just a weird thing, but since everything's been going on, I have like the worst allergies. My eyes are always bothering me. And I know but it's still eyes, nose, throat, you know, those are all connected. And, you know, I'm eating something and then I'm always like, does this taste funny? I'm all, you know, all this craziness, but I'm done. I want to be done. Donna, am liking it too. We're gonna just go for it. And we might have to add some bling too, just to, you know, add some more. All right, so I did So Very Kind of You. I am gonna put it kind of here, and then we'll put the strawberries around. I think the colors go well together. I mean, I just randomly chose some Copics. I did R24, 27, and 37, and just kind of blended, cover it up again. I'm gonna put this out to the side, I think, though. And I'm going to put it a little bit lower because I don't want to cover up all that one beautiful flower right there. Actually, I do think I want to cover up. I'm going to go down just a little bit lower. I changed my mind. Okay, and then I am very lucky that I don't go anywhere, Michelle, for the most part. I don't even go shopping. I go to work, I come home. On the weekends, I go to my craft room and I don't move. So I'm going to put this one, I think, up here instead of the other ones because it fits right in there. And then we've got these we're going to pop up. And then it's to bling or not to bling, ladies? What do you think? I got some kind of bright gems over there. I'm thinking maybe, let's see. I think we're going to do it. Let's put them down here. How's that? That looks pretty good, I think. So Very Kind of You. And I think we need some bling. And I never get to use these fun. I got the Buttons Galore Jewel Mix. And I think we're going to grab these kind of reddish, pinkish gems. We'll try those. And we'll just throw some on. So I don't have any rules for placement other than grab and put them on and see what you think. So we'll just grab a few and we'll put a few in. I'll scatter a few around. I do odd numbers, of course. I think that's enough. What do you guys think? 3. I'm going to do 3. Thanks. I'm just going to clip. And so then, yeah, of course, I move them. But I try to remember. I just add a little bit. I really like dry embossing with stencils because you don't have to ink them. You can give them just a very, it can be a white on white look or a very looks like a very tone on tone look, just a little texture. Here we go. So we got card number 2. Donna, you just finished vacation today. I think I did all, that was one for the first time. I did them all. I think I finished them all that time. I just kind of went for it. I'm not sure how I did that, but I did. I was done with the group that time. I think I did everything. I don't remember. But I think I did. All right, so we've got a card number 2, and I think, well, we've got about 10 minutes. So I'm going to skip part of my plan because I already have one done. The third way you can take your stencil is obviously with some glaze. And I already have one done. And I'm just getting to all the goodies because they're over here. And I've been dying to make this card and I just haven't yet. So I have 2 pieces done here. And this one looks like a hot mess, but that's the one we're going to use. So I took my stencil and I just covered, this is the brass glaze and this is the silver on the raven. Michelle, you'll get it. No worries. That's why we get to watch for a long time, right? So this is the brass Chroma glaze on green. This is just a piece of green cardstock. And I just put a piece of Post-it note tape through the middle, you know, and then I peeled it off and then I accidentally tore it. So that's how I had to fix it. And this is the silver. I don't know if it's called sterling. I think I put it away. But it's just on that. And then, of course, I put my finger in it when it wasn't quite dry. So I'll have to put something there. I'll finish this card later. What I wanted to do with this one is I thought this would be fun to make. I need to grab a card base just because I wanted to see the measurements. Thanks, Michelle. I started making these for design team projects and then I put them aside and said, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with those. They'll be extra. This cardstock I thought would work really well is, I have it right here. Give me a second. The 100-pound specialty cardstock. I don't know if is it gold? I think it's gold. And I thought this would be fun to put down, even though it's brass. I thought it'd be fun to just put it. And I thought since I tore it, what grade do I teach? I actually was a substitute teacher, Donna. So I taught every grade. I ended up graduating with just the lit and a Spanish degree, and finishing my degree for my teaching degree because I had 2 small children. And it was really hard for me to get in student teaching because I was a stay-at-home mom. And just really never thought for sure I would be a teacher 100%. So in Iowa, they were kind of desperate for teachers. So they passed the substitute authorization class, and which was, if you had a Bachelor of Arts, you could take a 20-hour class. And then you had to do some observing and some other things. And then you could be a substitute teacher and you have specific things like I could only teach for 10 days in one classroom in a 30-day period, or never more than 5 days in a row. Well, I've been doing that. I did that for 20 years. And so in the same school district, and then in another school district for 4 years I taught. So I did everything. And then we were kind of desperate even at the time that I was even associates and I was the secretaries. Yeah, so I've taught every single subject. I think I'm the first I know I'm the first person in my school that I don't teach anymore, that had been every single teacher and every single associate. So I was just ready to do, thanks Donna. I really like this. I thought this would be a fun, easy card too. I thought it would be fun. What I wanted to do was peel off the stuff and stamp a sentiment directly on it and then just like leave it for a 1-layer card. But like I said, I tore it. So I found, the brass and gold I thought really went well together. And then I thought for fun, we would play around with some patterned paper. So I pulled this pattern paper, and I think that that's what I want to use. And I think this is going to be a thank you card. I originally was going to make it a birthday card, but we'll see. I might still make it a birthday card. Depends on what, I only have my thanks. My happy's somewhere else. So I'm going to use the thanks from the Christopher Sentiments. And I thought what I would do, and this time I'm just going to use my little mini die cut machine, is I'm going to cut the pattern paper of the shadow. Michelle, I was working at a senior, yes, I was at a care center up until October of last year. That's where I ended up leaving to, full-time kind of, set hours, no real weekends. And I was in the office, but long story short, I left there in October. I actually work at a real estate firm now. I am the account executive, which means that I am at the front desk. I answer the phones, take messages, I help with lots of paperwork, anything else we do. We have a couple other businesses in the office that I help do stuff with. And I'm the one who's always there. So if, we have people who have to go on the road for a couple of the businesses we do some credit card processing in the building and ATMs. And I am there to answer the phone when we're out on trouble calls or things like that. So, and then I help all the agents with their paperwork, keep them organized. Thanks, Michelle. I really like it. My boss's son and my son graduated together, so I've known him a long time. And then my boyfriend's a real estate agent as well, so he gets to come in the office and I get to see him, so that's fun. I work with all men, and it's fun. So I really like it. And the job is very close to my house, so I can ride my bike to work. So this cardstock is very, very close in green. But that was my last piece of that green, so I just pulled a scrap. And I thought what I would do is pull. A lot of times I will cut multiple layers for dimension. I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to cut out the thanks. I might change it and go back to the gold. We'll see what we think once we cut it out. Oh, okay, Donna, I want to say thank you. That is a job that is endless, and thank you, and I don't think people appreciate that enough, to be honest with you. I really don't. I worked very closely. I did do that for a month when they were desperate. They didn't have anyone to teach, and so they got special permission for me to fill in, and then they did finally have someone who applied for the job so that I could go back to substitute teaching. What do you guys think? Can we read the thanks on there? Or do I think we should go with the gold? What do you think? I don't know if I want to do the gold because of the big gold band. I'm thinking I'm going to do gold's bling. Let's go. I'm going to go with the green. Hope you guys are okay with that. All right, so let's quick get this going here. Try it on the card. Okay. Sure, Michelle. I thought the green was kind of fun. I know it's going to hang off the card a little bit, but I still think it's fun because this is a card I can just hand make to somebody. So like I said, I think I like the green. I don't know if I like gold on top because of the gold underneath. What do you think? We can do gold. I could do white. Should I do white? I didn't think about the white because then it would tie in with the white card base. We can do that quick. Maybe I'll cut that out quick while we're thinking about it. I just keep putting my cardstock farther away from me. Oh, you do? Okay, we'll leave the green. Okay, thanks. I'm going to agree with you because I like the green too, even though we have a white card base. Everyone always uses white. I want to use something different. Okay, come on. I lost the pin to my, oh, there we go, to my thing. I wasn't sure what happened to it. I swear it was in it, and I don't see it on my desk, so I really hope I didn't drop it somewhere and somebody's going to step on it because I couldn't find it. We're going to do the green. I am not going to layer it this time for dimension because it's already going to be off the card, and I know we're getting a little bit short on time. But I thought it'd be fun to try to get these cards done. I tend to be a talker, so I don't always get them done in time. All right, let's grab a toothpick thing here, flip it around. All right. Quickly, the one thing I like about liquid glue is you can move it around and make it work. And make it fit just perfect with these fiddly little script fonts, which I love. There we go. We got a thanks. And I'm quick going to add just a little bit of glue to the back of this. And we're going to throw that on the top of the card. And we're going to throw on some bling. Let's see, what kind of bling are we going to send with this? I don't think we want the bright colors this time, even though I have some fun green. Let's put these pink ones away here quick. I think we're going to grab the neutrals here. Okay, I seem to have misplaced the neutral gems. No, I'm not finding the neutral gems, so we will just see what else I got. Some handy here. Do I have... I think I will add those on later because I would like to add some gems to it. My under is an education thing. Yeah, Michelle, it is. It, you know, I loved working with kids. I did it for a long time. I miss the little kids, but I'm super happy where I'm at, and I don't really want to go back. I did that long enough, and I'm glad I, moved on to something else and did that. So I think that's where I'm going to end this for tonight. I'm going to find my gold gems, and I will put them on before I take my pictures. So, oh, hi, Shannon. You're okay. You're just in time to see the reveal of all 3 cards. I can't find my bling right the second that I wanted to put on here, so I'll have to look for it. So we started with making a card using just some ink blending with the Minty Fresh and the Breakup Blue, and thought this would make a very basic card. Thanks, Shannon. That you could add an image to, or you could add some flowers to if you wanted to, or just leave it plain and basic. Add some bling. I even used ribbon, Shannon, so I was channeling my inner Shannon. And then the second card we made, we did some dry embossing. And then I showed how we cut it apart into 2 pieces and covered the panel. We used some of the inspiration box stamps to, and just a piece of pattern paper to create this card. Hi, Darren. And last but not least, our third way we used our card was to use some of the glitter, Chroma Glaze. And this is the brass Chroma Glaze. I had put a strip down the middle, and then I just added some a piece of the specialty gold cardstock, and thanks, Shannon, and the thanks from Christopher Sentiment, and I'm going to add some bling as soon as I find it. But those are 3 ways you can use your stencils: dry embossing, ink blending, and with glazes. So I appreciate you coming on tonight. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up or subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you had a favorite card. All right, and I will see you in a couple weeks when I will be using the strawberry social stamp sets on my next live. All right, have a great night, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. You have a great night too, everybody. Stay cool. All right. Good night.